In a distant galaxy, the Galactic Empire ruled over many planets with a strong hand. They controlled vast fleets of ships and powerful armies. Among these planets was Earth, a small blue world filled with people who lived simple lives. They went to work, cared for their families, and enjoyed their free time. Little did they know that dark clouds were gathering above them. One day, an important alien leader named Zarek stood in front of a massive crowd on the planet Zyron. He was tall and imposing, with skin like polished silver and eyes that glowed like stars. As he raised his arms to speak, the crowd fell silent. Zarek had a reputation for being ruthless, and today he was in a mocking mood. "Look at the humans!" Zarek bellowed, his voice echoing through the stadium. "These creatures think they are strong. They think they can challenge the might of the Galactic Empire. But we all know the truth. They are nothing but weak, primitive beings." Laughter erupted from the crowd. The aliens cheered and jeered, their voices rising like a wave. Zarek continued, his words cutting deep. "They have no technology, no armies. They are too busy playing games while we conquer the stars. What can a human do?" "Nothing!" His words stung like 1,000 bees. On Earth, news of Zarek's speech spread like wildfire. People gathered around their screens, watching the broadcast in disbelief. Anger bubbled inside them. Many felt embarrassed and insulted. They had worked hard, built their lives, and contributed to the galaxy, yet here was an alien belittling their entire existence. In a small office in a tall building, a group of human leaders watched the speech together. Among them was General Anna, a strong and determined woman. Her dark hair was pulled back tightly and her eyes burned with intensity. She turned to her fellow leaders and said, "This is unacceptable. We cannot let them talk about us this way." Another leader, a scientist named Dr. Lewis, nodded in agreement. "We've kept our plans secret for too long. It's time to show them what we are capable of." His voice was calm but firm, filled with resolve. The leaders gathered around a table filled with blueprints and holographic images. These images showed their hidden fleet, a collection of advanced warships they had built in secret. For years, they had been preparing for this moment, training and developing technology that would surprise the Galactic Empire. "We have ships that are faster and more powerful than anything they've seen," General Anna declared. "We can outsmart them. We need to deploy the fleet and show them that we are not to be underestimated." Excitement filled the room as the leaders made their plans. They spoke of courage, unity, and strength. It was clear that anger had ignited a fire within them. They no longer wanted to be seen as weak. They would fight back, not just for themselves, but for every human who had been insulted. Meanwhile, on Zyron, Zarek finished his speech, reveling in the cheers of the crowd. He thought the humans were defeated, but he had no idea that his words would light a spark in them. As he stepped down from the stage, he believed he had crushed their spirits. Back on Earth, the leaders finalized their plans. They would gather the best pilots, engineers, and soldiers. They would launch their hidden fleet and show the galaxy that humans were a force to be reckoned with. As night fell, a sense of determination filled the air. Humans across the globe began to unite, sharing their skills and knowledge. The time for anger was over. The time for action had begun. They were ready to rise up, to prove that they were not weak and that they would no longer accept insults from the Galactic Empire. The world turned dark, but in the hearts of the humans, a fire burned brightly. They were no longer just a small blue planet. They were ready to become a hidden fleet, a fierce force against those who thought they could bully them. The Galactic Empire would soon learn that humans were not to be trifled with. The night sky above Earth was clear, and the stars twinkled like diamonds. In a secret location deep within a remote mountain range, the hidden fleet lay waiting. This was no ordinary fleet. It was humanity's greatest hope. As the sun rose, a team of dedicated workers began their day, ready to unveil their secret. General Anna stood at the entrance of the fleet's hidden base, her heart pounding with excitement. Today was the day. She had trained and prepared for this moment for years, and now it was finally here. The air was crisp, and the energy among the crew was electric. "Listen up, everyone!" she shouted, gathering the crew around her. "Today we reveal the fleet. We have worked hard for this moment, and it's time to show the galaxy what humans can do." The crowd cheered, their faces filled with determination. Among them were pilots, engineers, and scientists, all united by a common goal. Each member of the crew had a role to play, and they were ready to fight for their planet. As they moved through the base, they came across massive hangars filled with ships. Each vessel was a marvel of engineering, designed for speed, stealth, and power. The humans had taken the best ideas from their studies of alien technology and combined them with their own innovations. "Here it is!" shouted a young engineer named Sarah as she gestured toward the first ship. It was sleek and dark, built to blend into the shadows of space. "This is the Shadowhawk. It can move faster than any other ship we've seen, and it's equipped with advanced weapons." General Anna stepped forward, inspecting the ship. "It looks incredible, Sarah. How many can we fit in the fleet?" "We have 10 Shadowhawks ready to launch," Sarah replied with pride. "Each ship can carry a crew of 5 and has enough firepower to take on multiple enemy ships." As the crew continued their tour, they moved to the next hangar, where larger ships awaited. One of them, the Vanguard, was built for heavy combat. It was a massive ship with thick armor and powerful cannons. General Anna could feel the excitement building within her. "Prepare the ships for launch," she commanded. "We need to be ready to move at a moment's notice." The crew quickly sprang into action, each person knowing their task. Some worked on the ships, running checks on the engines and weapon systems, while others focused on communication and navigation. It was a well-oiled machine, and every second counted. As they worked, General Anna gathered the pilots for a briefing. "You all know what's at stake. The Galactic Empire thinks we are weak, but we will show them our strength. We will not back down!" Her voice was steady, filled with resolve. "Each of you has a crucial role to play. Trust your training, trust each other, and we will succeed." The pilots nodded, determination in their eyes. Among them was Jack, a skilled pilot with a reputation for daring maneuvers. He stepped forward. "General, when do we strike?" "I'm ready to fly!" "Soon," General Anna replied, glancing at the preparations. "We will wait for the right moment to make our move. The Empire will not see us coming." Hours passed as the crew continued their preparations. They fueled the ships, loaded supplies, and made final checks. Tension hung in the air, but it was mixed with excitement. The humans were ready to take a stand against their oppressors. As night fell, the hidden fleet was finally ready. 10 Shadowhawks and the massive Vanguard stood poised for launch. The crew gathered once more, their hearts pounding in anticipation. "Tonight we show the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated," General Anna shouted, her voice echoing through the hangar. "We are strong, we are united, and we will fight for our home." With that, the crew erupted in cheers. The hidden fleet, once just a dream, was now a reality. They were ready to challenge the Galactic Empire and prove their worth. The time for action had come, and the humans would rise to meet the challenge head-on. As the ships prepared for launch, the stars above seemed to shine brighter. The hidden fleet was about to set off on a mission that would change the fate of Earth forever. As the hidden fleet of humanity soared through the stars, the atmosphere on board was thick with tension. General Anna stood at the command center of the Vanguard, her eyes focused on the screens filled with data. Around her, crew members hurried to carry out their tasks, each one aware that the fate of Earth rested on their shoulders. The ships glided silently, their dark hulls blending into the depths of space. The crew had traveled for hours, but the closer they got to the Galactic Empire's territory, the more anxious everyone became. They had trained for this moment, but the reality of facing the Empire weighed heavily on them. "General, we're approaching the outer edge of their zone," reported Sarah, the young engineer. Her fingers danced over the controls as she monitored their progress. "We'll need to activate the stealth systems to avoid detection." "Do it," Anna replied, her voice steady. "We must be careful. The Empire will be on high alert after Zarek's speech. They won't expect us, but we cannot underestimate them." As the stealth systems engaged, the ships became nearly invisible to enemy scanners. The crew felt a surge of hope, but it was mixed with fear. They were about to enter hostile territory, a place where danger lurked around every corner. Meanwhile, on Zyron, Zarek sat in a dark chamber contemplating his next move. He had received reports of unusual activity near the borders of the Empire, and his anger boiled. "Those humans dare to defy us!" he roared, slamming his fist on the table. "They think they can challenge the might of the Galactic Empire? We will crush them!" His advisors exchanged worried glances, sensing their leader's rage. "But, sir, we don't have solid confirmation that they are indeed coming," one of them said cautiously. "It could be a false alarm." "False alarm or not, we must be prepared," Zarek shouted. "Send out patrols and alert all our fleets. I want every ship on high alert. If those humans dare to attack, we will be ready." Back on the Vanguard, the tension among the crew continued to rise. The pilots exchanged nervous glances, and the engineers whispered among themselves, wondering if they were truly ready for the battle ahead. Jack, one of the pilots, sensed the fear in his comrades. He took a deep breath and stood up, his voice strong. "Listen, everyone. We have trained hard for this moment. We know what we are doing. Remember why we're here. We fight for our families, for Earth. We cannot let fear hold us back." His words resonated with the crew. They nodded, rallying around his spirit. But as they pushed forward, the realization of their mission settled in. They were going to face the Galactic Empire, a force much larger and more powerful than they had ever known. "General," Sarah interrupted, her eyes wide with concern, "I'm picking up strange signals on the scanners. It looks like they're mobilizing their fleets near our position." Anna's heart raced. "All right, everyone, prepare for possible combat. We may have to engage sooner than we thought." She moved swiftly, issuing commands and ensuring everyone was in their stations. As the crew readied themselves, the atmosphere shifted from nervousness to determination. They had come too far to turn back now. Suddenly, the alarms blared throughout the ship, cutting through the tension like a knife. "We have incoming ships!" Sarah shouted, her fingers flying over the controls. "It looks like they're on an intercept course. Divert power to the shields and prepare to launch the Shadowhawks," General Anna commanded, her voice calm but firm. "We need to protect the Vanguard at all costs." The crew sprang into action, adrenaline pumping through their veins. The Shadowhawks were their fastest ships, and they would need to be deployed quickly to fend off the approaching enemy. As the first Shadowhawks launched into space, the crew held their breath. They were on the brink of battle, the moment they had trained for finally arriving. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, and the rising tension filled every corner of the Vanguard. "Let's show them what we're made of," General Anna shouted, her voice echoing in the command center. With that, the humans prepared to face the Galactic Empire head-on, ready to fight for their freedom and prove their worth. The vastness of space buzzed with tension as the hidden fleet of humanity faced off against the might of the Galactic Empire. On board the Vanguard, General Anna stood firm at the command center, her heart racing. Around her, the crew was ready, their eyes filled with determination. This was the moment they had trained for, the moment that would define their future. "Shadowhawks, report in," Anna commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos outside. One by one, the pilots responded. "Shadowhawk 1, ready for battle." Jack's voice rang through the comms, filled with excitement. "We're locked and loaded, General. Shadowhawk 2, all systems go," came another voice. The crew of the Vanguard exchanged determined looks, knowing they were ready to face the Empire head-on. "Okay, everyone, remember your training. Stay close to each other and follow my lead." Anna's voice was strong, inspiring confidence in her crew. The massive fleet of the Galactic Empire loomed ahead, its ships shining ominously in the darkness of space. Zarek watched from his flagship, a twisted smile on his face. "So the humans have finally decided to show themselves," he sneered. "Prepare to engage! Let's teach them a lesson they will never forget." As Zarek's ships moved into position, the humans knew the time had come. Anna's heart pounded in her chest. "Engage stealth systems and move into formation," she ordered. "We can't let them know our numbers." The Vanguard and its Shadowhawks glided silently, their dark forms nearly invisible against the stars. The tension was palpable. Each crew member knew that this battle could determine the fate of Earth. "Now!" Anna shouted as they reached the perfect distance. "All ships go full throttle and launch!" The Shadowhawks shot forward, their engines roaring to life. The air was filled with the sound of clashing metal and bright flashes of energy. The humans had taken the Empire by surprise. Jack maneuvered his Shadowhawk through the chaos, dodging enemy fire with expert precision. "I've got your back!" he yelled to his fellow pilots. "Let's take them down!" Around him, the Shadowhawks danced through the battlefield, firing their weapons with precision. The crew of the Vanguard focused on coordinating the attacks, giving the pilots the information they needed to outsmart their enemies. Meanwhile, General Anna remained focused on the command center, her mind racing with strategy. "Sarah, divert power to the main cannons," she ordered. "We need to hit their flagship. That's where Zarek is." "Right away, General," Sarah replied, her fingers flying over the controls. The Vanguard trembled as its cannons charged, ready to unleash their firepower. As the Shadowhawks engaged the enemy ships, explosions lit up the dark expanse of space. The humans fought bravely, pushing back against the overwhelming forces of the Empire. Their determination shone through the chaos, proving that they would not back down. But Zarek was not without his own cunning. He ordered his ships to form a blockade, attempting to trap the humans. "Don't let them escape!" he shouted, his anger boiling. "They must pay for their defiance." Anna watched the scene unfold, her heart racing. "We have to break through! Everyone, regroup on my signal!" she commanded. With the Shadowhawks quickly returning to her side, Anna felt a surge of hope. "Now!" she yelled. "Fire the main cannons!" The Vanguard unleashed its energy, a brilliant beam cutting through space toward the flagship of the Galactic Empire. The shot hit true, causing a massive explosion that lit up the darkness. "Direct hit!" Sarah cheered, her eyes wide with excitement. "We've got them on the run!" The humans pressed their advantage, pushing forward with renewed strength. Zarek, realizing his flagship was damaged, felt panic set in. "Retreat!" he ordered, but it was too late. The tide of the battle had turned. As the Empire's ships began to flee, cheers erupted from the crew of the Vanguard. "We did it!" Jack shouted, his voice filled with joy. "We actually did it!" General Anna took a deep breath, a mix of relief and pride washing over her. "We fought for our home and showed the galaxy what we are capable of," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "But let's remain vigilant. This isn't over yet." The Hidden Fleet had won this battle, but Anna knew that the war with the Galactic Empire was far from finished. The humans had proven their strength and resilience, but the challenges ahead would be great. As they regrouped and prepared for the journey home, the crew of the Vanguard felt a sense of unity. They had come together as one, facing the darkness and emerging victorious. In that moment, they understood the true power of humanity. Together they would face whatever challenges awaited them, ready to defend their home against any threat. And so, the humans set their course for Earth, proud of their victory but aware that the fight for freedom was just beginning. The stars sparkled brightly in the night sky, a reminder of the endless possibilities ahead.